Hi there, I'm Josie. I'm a food and eating psychology coach and founder of The Mindful Cook. In this short film, I'm going to share some of my favourite ingredients with you and explain a little bit about why they're my favourite ingredients, and also give you some tips on how you can use these ingredients in your cooking. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the avocado. Now, the avocado is a little unusual among fruits because it contains fats. And because of this, I think it's acquired quite a bad reputation within the diet industry. But the truth is, we all need essential fatty acids in our diet to stay fit and healthy. And the type of fats that you find in avocado is mainly unsaturated. This type of fat can also help you to maintain healthy cholesterol levels. Not only that, avocados are also packed with lots of other great nutrients. Just one avocado contains almost all of the B vitamins, for example, and it contains a range of other minerals too. So they are definitely not to be snubbed and not to be afraid of when you're thinking about a healthy diet. Another really clever thing about avocados is that certain fats help your body to absorb other nutrients. And the addition of avocado to meals can promote better uptake of the other vitamins that are being presented to you on your plate. So things like adding them to salads, creating dips like guacamole, and having them on the side of other dishes is a really great idea to help you absorb other nutrients. They're also, some of my favourite ways to use them are smashed up with a little bit of olive oil and seasoning on toast. A tip that you may not know actually is that the really creamy texture of avocados lends itself really well to creating desserts. It's one of the things I do quite a lot. I use avocado to create desserts like chocolate pies and things like that, healthy spins on key lime pies and all those kind of things, because they really whip up perfectly with other ingredients like cacao powder, fruit zests and juices to create amazing desserts. Have a look at my website. You'll see there's a couple of recipes on there that demonstrates exactly how good they are for this kind of thing. Another little ingredient that I love are flax seeds, or they're also known as linseeds. Now, these little seeds are actually packed with nutrients and antioxidants, and they're recognized as one of the best plant sources of the essential fatty acid omega-3. They also contain some compounds known as lignans, which have been associated with things like heart health, a lower risk of heart disease, and disease prevention in general. So they're altogether a pretty good thing to have in your diet. Something worth noting when you're working with flax seeds is that they have a really hard outer shell, and that outer shell isn't broken down very easily by your digestive system. So the best way to make sure that you're getting the most out of these little seeds is either to grind them down using a pestle and mortar like this, or soaking them in liquid. If you're going to use them in a wet dish, then soak them in liquid. It just helps to release the oils. Flax are really quite versatile, and there are so many ways that you can introduce them into your diet. So some of the things that I like to do, and always remember to just break them down a little bit with a pestle and mortar if you're going to use them in this way, is to add them to your cereals. I make my own granola and I always pop it in there. You could add a tablespoon to your smoothies when you're making smoothies. You can pop them on the top of your porridge, or a really nice thing to do for more savoury lunch dishes and things like that, just add them to salads, pop them in your bread recipes, anything like that. They're really, really good. Another little tip for you is that if you are suffering from constipation, flax oil is a fantastic natural laxative. If you pop a tablespoon of these into a flask with around 500 to 600 mils of water overnight, mix them well, that will break the seeds down, allowing them to release their oils into the liquid. And all you've got to do, if you can handle it, is to just pour out the liquid and drink it the next day. If you do that consistently over a few days, really helps you to helps with constipation and things like that. I couldn't make a film about my favourite ingredients without talking about chocolate. I'm a huge fan of cacao powder and making your own chocolate. If you check out my website, I've got a course specifically on the subject. Now, cacao and cocoa are really the same thing, just different languages. Cacao powder, organic cacao powder, is absolutely full of minerals and antioxidant micronutrients. And it's the presence of these and the fermentation process that it goes through that can cause dark chocolate to taste really bitter. If you've tried dark chocolate, you'll no doubt be familiar with it. In health circles, the term cacao is kind of broadly used to refer to products from smaller cacao plantations that kind of aim to keep the processing to a minimum so that the enzymes that contain all the nutrients remain pretty much intact. So when you're looking for it, if you go for an organic cacao powder, you're probably, buying the right thing. I love cacao powder because it's such an indulgent way to feed your cells with nutrients. It really is a great example of how nutritious food really can be truly delicious and indulgent. So I use organic cacao powder like this in things like smoothies. It's great with coconut or oat milk, bananas and nut butters, those kind of things. I use it in overnight oat recipes and porridges. It's great for that. And also desserts. Now, particularly in the summer, when you whip it up with banana and pop that in the freezer, you can create the best ice cream, natural ice cream ever. And of course, I use it to create my own nutritious and delicious chocolates at home. And if you are interested in learning more about how to do that, then do check out my chocolate making course and kit that's available over on my website. But yeah, cacao powder is a really nice ingredient to have some fun with. Another ingredient that I love is a good quality olive oil. I absolutely love good quality extra virgin olive oil. It's such a great plant-based source of omega-3, which supports healthy brain function, heart health, and things like reduction of inflammation within the body. It's important to say that marine sources of omega-3 are really important too, but when it comes to oils for food preparation and cooking at lower temperatures, then olive oil is really my go-to. When I talk about a good quality olive oil, it's good to look for an oil that is cold pressed because it will have come from, or it probably will have come from, good soil and likely therefore to have a higher concentration of phytonutrients. Now, phytonutrients is just a scientific term for plant nutrients. So the better quality your olive oil, the tastier it's going to be, the more nutritious it's going to be. Olive oil is absolutely fabulous in things like salad dressings, added to dips like hummus or guacamole, and it also creates amazing marinades, particularly in the summer. The flavour is so good in many of these good quality extra virgin olive oils that I just simply drizzle them over pasta or vegetable dishes. It's absolutely superb. It is just worth mentioning when talking about cooking that virgin and extra virgin olive oils are best used cooking at low temperatures or in cold dishes, as I've just mentioned, because the nutrients tend to be destroyed, and also higher temperatures can degrade the oil when you're cooking with them and it's a little bit too hot. And finally, spinach is on my list of favourite ingredients, really because it's such an affordable and ready available vegetable that is a powerhouse of nutrients. Spinach is a great source of lots of minerals, calcium, potassium, magnesium and iron, and it also has a huge range of vitamins in it as well, B, K, to name but a few. So it's, I needn't highlight anymore how good it is nutritionally. Interestingly, different ways of cooking spinach give it a different nutritional profile. The best cooking methods are probably going to be things like steaming and sauteing, because both of those processes help to retain the vitamins that would otherwise kind of disappear into the water if you were to boil them, for example. A lot of the nutrients that are available come from the colour or the pigment of the leaves. And so if it less is more on the cooking front, basically. And there's also a huge amount of benefit from eating spinach just raw. I love it because you can really easily add it to pretty much anything. So I have it as a side dish, maybe sauteed a little bit with your good quality olive oil and maybe some seasoning and garlic. That's absolutely beautiful. You could also chuck in some pine nuts as well to give it a bit of texture. It's fantastic in salads and wraps. I very often just wilt it on a piece of sourdough underneath my egg in the morning just to add extra nutrients. And of course you can throw it into curries, pizzas, stews, endless ways to use spinach. It's a great leafy vegetable to use as a nutritional top up to almost any dish.